This side, substitute for tangent squared x, so sine squared x over cosine squared x. From the Pythagorean identities, we know tangent squared x plus 1 is equivalent to secant squared x. Then we'll divide the fractions, so that becomes sine squared x over cosine squared x times cosine squared x. Those cancel, so the two sides agree. Recording here. Good? Okay. Next question. Again, we're going to work with the right side because it's more complicated. So we'll substitute 1 over sine x times cosine x. And then in the bottom, we're going to rewrite in terms of sine and cosine. So sine x over cosine x plus cosine x over sine x. So we'll simplify the numerator, consolidate it to one quotient, so cosine x over sine x. In the denominator, you have to get the common denominator. So we're going to go ahead and write what that is. It's cosine x sine x. And in the numerator, I'm cross multiplying here, multiplying this one by what it doesn't have, which is sine x. This one by what it doesn't have, which is cosine x. So this becomes sine squared x plus cosine squared x. It's division of fractions. And of course, you want to write vertically, continue to write vertically, but I'm limited in space. So I'm going to pick up over here. I'm going to multiply this now by the reciprocal, cosine x sine x. And notice by the Pythagorean theorem that that becomes 1, Pythagorean identity. So now I can cross off cosine x, and remember keeping your goal in mind. Cosine squared x is what you were going for, and that's what you got. Okay? 3 and 4 and 5 deal with algebra in the trigonometric form, so make sure you review your notes on that. So here we're going to multiply. This becomes cosine theta secant theta minus cosine squared theta. And then we'll simplify this because they are reciprocals of one another. So I can rewrite this as 1 minus cosine squared theta, which becomes sine squared theta. You guys have a good weekend.
You too.
And then subtracting here, again, get that common denominator. So it's going to be the product of what's in the denominator. And then cross multiplying there. So cotangent squared theta minus cosine squared theta. And that's all we'll do to that one. And then the final problem is a true or false question. Remember, with true or false, you always have to support your answer whether you say true or false. And in this case, it's asking, is the sine of theta plus the sine of 3 theta equal to the sine of 4 theta? And we say that is false. And the reason is that they are not alike. They are not alike, meaning they're not like terms. And some alternative answers there would be, or some alternative type questions would be the sine of theta plus 3 sine of theta. This is different from there. In that case, we could say 1 sine theta plus 3 of them gives me 4 of them. So that's one alternative. And then a second alternative is if we have the sine of 3 theta plus the sine of 3 theta. In that case, that means I have 1 here and 1 there, which makes 2 of them. So 2 sine 3 theta. So these are true. This one is false because the arguments are not the same. And so we could not simplify those. We could not add them because they are not like terms.